Perfect. Posting that one to Twitter. Do you ever just have times where you think, hey, I need to stop enjoying this moment and take a picture of it instead? Well, now those thoughts can no longer just be constrained by the physical world. Now you can stop everything in the digital world to say, hey, Natty's pretty cute looking. These are our cameras, new tools that developers have handed us that allows us to post free advertising of their games on Instagram. But with games that look as gorgeous as this, who could resist wanting to play around in its environments? The photo mode in games now allow players to access the ability to become a mini Peter Parker in their own game worlds, not including the games that already have you being a little Peter Parker in a game as a little Peter Parker. This multiverse stuff is getting confusing.
Oh boy, yeah.
The modern photo mode that we typically think of was popularized by infamous Second Son in 2014, a graphically impressive game that is nearly 9 years old at this point, which, violent flashes of my life aside, is interesting that they included this feature. I assume that this was a way to promote the share button features on the PlayStation 4 because that was the hot new thing, but I feel at this point has evolved into something far greater. From infamous Second Son to Death Stranding to The Last of Us Part 2 to Uncharted to Red Dead Redemption, the photo mode has opened up more appreciation to our game worlds than ever before. Seeing the sweat on Ellie's arms or maybe the light gazing through the forest in Red Dead, these photo modes have always helped get the best shot possible. Look, it's me! A particular favorite of mine is Ghost of Tsushima. The wind blows and the grass and trees sway even in the photo mode. The game understands that the presence of the wind in the forest as an entity is that it's alive and constantly moving. It's what sells the environment. To fully understand and appreciate the moment, the world and forest must remain alive. You can pause the world and characters, but the wind keeps blowing. Now, most modern game consoles and PCs come with the ability to screenshot and capture footage. It's always a nostalgic and fun time when you look back through all your clips and pictures and you remember how you felt when you took them. They help recapture the moment you took the photo and how you felt in that moment. Look, it's me! Maybe you saw a glitch that made you laugh. Maybe you saw a striking visual in the world that made you feel like you had to put it on record. Or maybe you just wanted to show off your sweet looking car. Although infamous Second Son may have started modern photo modes, there have been plenty of other photo options even years before. If you go back further to Gran Turismo 4 in 2004, you had the ability to place cars and position them in spaces in a sort of diorama mode style. It's not super noteworthy as a breakthrough in gaming history, but as a quick side note, the vibe that this photo mode has is, to borrow from Thor High Heels, is some sophisto-future vibes. The smooth, clean, yet outdated and tacky style just wraps me in a warm blanket of sophisto-future. I found this video online when looking at it, and I have requested that it's played at my funeral. In-game, this photo mode even feels like an in-game car promo. Photos are used as a way to help capture a moment in time, but this entire photo mode feels like a capture in time as well, where the slick and slightly tacky car photo shoots were popular and relevant to the essence and spirit of a sports car. It helps ground and contextualize the photo mode, unlike the nebulous menu that you're teleported to with modern photo modes. I like having this in-game framing, and it's always fun when the game finds a way to blend it into its world. Like playing your game and it just hands you a camera and says, hey, get out there and take some pictures of some felonious after dark indiscretions. In The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, they give you the mighty Picto Box, mostly used in some admittedly boring side quests, but giving players the freedom to just whip out that Kodak whenever they want is just some good old-fashioned fun, while still allowing players personal expression. I feel like most games should give you a camera to mess around with. Why not? Just pass them around. Spider-Man PS4, while giving you a traditional modern photo mode, also gives you an in-game camera to take pictures of buildings, or if you're a Chad, use it to mix in and out of your combos. Firewatch gives you a disposable camera, and while exploring the National Park WPA poster-inspired environments, it feels super appropriate for its art style. The original purpose of this aesthetic was designed to show the beauty of America's national parks, and here you get to take in that world with that beauty, rendered physically in the world itself. You are also able to print photos in real life and have them sent to your house, a real physical picture for you to enjoy, to look back on wistfully as that fun weekend that you had with Firewatch. There's also a more obscure example from a game I've never played before. I sought it out for this video. It's just like this little game. I'm not sure if I can really pronounce it right either. Let me get my native Japanese fluent friend to pronounce this for me. Hey, it's me, native Japanese fluent friend here. It's called Kingdom Hearts 3, baby! You can't stop me from talking about Kingdom Hearts. The police tried, the government tried, nobody can stop me. They sent the tanks and opened fire, but I held my ground. Hey tanks, Kingdom Hearts is life! In Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora gets a cell phone and an Instagram account. Ugh, weird contemporary Nomura-isms aside, it is admittedly very charming and cute AF to take pictures and selfies with your Disney pals. Look, it's me! Sure, I mean, it's fun to give players this kind of ability, but in reality, giving Sora a phone, really? Giving him a phone, it just kind of flattens the game's storytelling, where the grand story moments are now just left to people talking on the phone rather than scenes of, like, people discovering things and uncovering new truths. Instead, it's now people mansplaining crap to Sora over a Skype call, which is indicative to the storytelling issues that Kingdom Hearts 3 has suffered from for about years now. It is really amplified in this newest project as you get calls from Zexion, who just berates you with information, completely removing much mystery.
Hey, Nomura!
One of my favorite instances of a camera in a video game is the photos that your companion Prompto takes in Final Fantasy 15. You don't get to take the photos yourself, but in the background while in normal gameplay, your party member will snap photos of events that happen throughout your adventure. And at the end of every day, when you and your squad camp for the night, you get to save the ones that you like throughout your adventures and save them for later. Spoilers for Final Fantasy 15, skip to this timestamp to avoid the spoilers. You know, there's also a couple spoilers on my car. If you don't like those, avoid those ones too. Right before the climax of the game, you're about to pass the point of no return before the end. You will never see your friends again after this point, but before the end, you're allowed to take one last picture with you. You're allowed to choose whichever photo you wanted to use to remember your friends. It's honestly super touching and heartwarming. This feels like how photos are in real life, not just as a picture that was taken, but what they mean to us. The significance of them is not limited to the physical picture, but it's a moment in time, a memory that you can hold on to even after the end. Memory is a powerful tool, and giving players this brief glimpse back helps us remember the significance of these moments to us. That significance of memory is not lost on the game Season: A Letter to the Future. A simple game with a simple premise. The game's world and characters are almost obsessed with memories. It's a world that has become burdened with the past so much that many people would rather forget the past and live in ignorance rather than holding on to that regret and pain. But the main character has decided that before the season changes into the new era, she will go and document the world as it is now for the future generations to understand the people that came before them. It's a letter to the future, if you will. I know, I'm like a poetical genius. Where did I get that from? The season in which people currently exist in the game have such a lack of understanding of the past in the eras that came before them. Most of the characters don't even understand what happened 50 years ago, even though it happened in their own lifetime. That makes it feel so much more important for the future to have an understanding of them now. While it stretches the believability of the world a bit, it's still a righteous task that we take seriously. While I have my personal gripes with the game, this game is emblematic of everything we've discussed here. Taking a picture of the trees, the people, the wildlife, and the remnants of the previous era. Recording audio of a frog on a lily pad, or the sounds of a siren in the distance. Every one of these are captured by the player and placed in a scrapbook. The most enjoyable part of the game is looking back through the book and seeing how you looked at the world. This wasn't much of a recollection of the world and its people, it's a recollection of my experiences as a player. Sure, this journal may be used for the future to look back and understand what we were like, but only I look at these pictures and truly understand what these photos meant. The arrangement of the book is an extension of my personality. That's why I had this cow creeping in from the side on the page right here, and why I included more pictures of frogs and goats than I did the people. I'm a silly boy, that's just what I do. At the end of the game, as you stare at the stars, you take a look through the book one last time. As I flip through its pages, I'm seeing the world that I explored, and this world that I was in awe of. I see pictures of me taking selfies of myself and Spider-Man, admiring the wind and movement of the trees. I see the slick, cool, AF-looking car promos that I shot for Gran Turismo. I see photos of me and my Disney pals and hanging out with the Final Fantasy gang. And yes, I even remember every single goat that I took a picture of. Everything that I witnessed, I have here documented for me to enjoy. I see myself in these pages. It's me. It's me. It's me.